Let's go back to Michael Burnham for a second.
Sonequa Martin Green, she seems in real life, like in these interviews I've seen her in, she's a very bubbly, sweet person.
Yes.
Why would they do that to Sonequa Martin Green like that? Hamper, I mean, they tied these giant weights on her at the very first episode, and people who defend this as the same as Tom Paris, it's like, no, Tom Paris killed 3 people through negligence. Yes. I'm not diminishing that. That's a really crappy thing to do. However, he fessed up to it on his own when it seemed like he didn't have to.
He'd gotten away with it.
He took responsibility, and he was on the penal planet, and he had remorse. It's the remorse piece. If Michael Burnham fessed up and said, you know what, and maybe I missed this episode in Discovery, you know what, I'm responsible for millions of people dying, and not having somebody cheer her up and say, yes, Michael, you were, hopefully you can move on from that.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I can tell you what, she should never be in a position to be in a command position, to be managing anybody under her, because she has shown, even under the best redemption arc, that nobody should be under her learning anything.
Well, I know defenders of the show would say when she came back aboard with all of those members of her former crew, especially like the one that lost the eye, she wasn't welcomed back. They gave her a hard time. But my argument back would be, well, that's all well and good, but that's not nearly what she deserved. Killing, we'll say, I'll just be kind and say 1 million people, even though I'm pretty sure it was a lot more.
You can't just forgive that. I mean, she should be shunned for the rest of her life for what she did.
Yes.
If she showed remorse over and over and over again, maybe you could say, you know, it was an accident, several accidents actually. It doesn't justify what she did, but maybe we can move on. But she certainly shouldn't be giving speeches about what it is to be Starfleet, and she definitely shouldn't be captain of her own ship.
Well, yeah, I mean, if she still was able to stay pardoned or whatever, I mean, I don't even know how that happened, but she should have spent the rest of her life trying to make up for what she did.
Yes.
And it didn't appear even in the slightest that she was doing that.
She wasn't even sorry, I don't think.
No, I mean, most of the characters on that show just came across like they were incredibly narcissistic.
Yeah.
Like, everything was all about them and their pain all the time. And it's like, okay,
like
well, that's all well and good.
Like teenagers
Yes,
are.
yes. But I mean, like, it never felt like what they were doing was for the good of the Federation or the good of Starfleet or anything else other than a self-serving, narcissistic pursuit. I could mount a convincing argument that that character is a war criminal. For starters, starting a war of aggression is technically a war crime.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she actually helped Captain Georgiou bury a bomb in a corpse, a Klingon corpse, in order to blow up their ship while they were collecting the dead after the battle.
Yeah, and to be clear, this was not Mir Georgiou. This was back when she was Starfleet hero Captain Georgiou.
Yes.
And she decided to bury a bomb in a Klingon corpse.
Yes.
And I don't remember if Michael Burnham was doing that with her, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Saru was in on that or not. It's been a long time since I watched that god-awful, horrible show. But, you know, because, I mean, that brings up a myriad of other issues, because, you know, if we could just leave Michael Burnham behind on that and move on to Georgiou, now we start getting into some really problematic areas that I'm surprised people who are interested in social justice are willing to overlook or missed. Because what they had Georgiou doing was engaging in some really awful Asian stereotypes.
Yeah. Booby-trapping bodies that they did back in like World War II in Vietnam, at least the stereotype of doing that.
Yeah. It's a negative Asian stereotype, is what that is.
Having somebody of Asian descent doing that, burying a bomb in a body, booby-trapping a body, that was an offensive racist stereotype that they did.
Yes.
And then getting to Mir Georgiou.
Oh, the Dragon Lady stereotype.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how many people don't understand this, but if you look up the stereotype of the Dragon Lady, it's a stereotype. It's usually a Chinese lady of mystery who uses sexuality to get what she wants.
Yes.
And if you remember Mirror Georgiou, when not only is all that weird crap that she's doing, but like there was this one scene where she was talking to Dr. Kubler and Stamets, and she was like making these suggestions that they had like some multiple sexual encounters together, and
in the mirror universe.
Yeah, the mirror universe.
Yeah, she was talking that to I guess regular universe Stamets and Kubler. And yeah, she was insinuating that they had a relationship in the mirror universe, the three of them, a sexual relationship.
A sexual one, like it's a sexual romp. And it's like they keep portraying her and all the stuff that she does and all the mysterious layers on layers of stuff. It's the Dragon Lady stereotype.
Well, and don't forget when they were on the Klingon homeworld, when they went to...
Yes.
And she was in that brothel or whatever it was.
Yes.
Yes. So, again, she was taken on 2 at a time. That was something else. I must say I've never actually seen that in Star Trek before. But, yeah, I mean, the way they portrayed her, I mean, again, it's like, how do you miss that is clearly written as a really horrible stereotype?
A racial stereotype.
Yes.